Today we will see how to install vinyl wrap tint onto your tail light, so let's watch it. Our RickStuff Store is finally open, so go on spreadshirt.ca today to save as much as 15% on your RickStuff gear and accessories. Type RickStuff in the search bar and you will be redirected directly on our store page, where you'll find everything you need, whether it is for man, woman, kids, or even dog accessories. So the first step before applying anything on your taillight is to wash them to make sure they're very clean. Reason why I'm washing them 2 times, and I will also wash it with isopropyl alcohol to make sure there's no grease or any contaminant on it before applying the film. The big mistake I've made in this project is that I should have washed the truck entirely before installing the film. Because even since I washed the tail lights, there was still some grain of sand on the truck and between the panel and the tail light itself. And since the vinyl wrap, like all plastic, carries some static, it attracts all the sand between the tail lights and the wrap itself, which caused some air bubble. Fortunately for me, I managed to remove pretty much all the air bubbles behind the plastic using my heat gun. But if you want to wrap your tail lights, I strongly suggest that you wash your car and you let it dry completely, so you will avoid a lot of trouble. For this project, I choose to use VVivid auto adhesive film, which is a little tricky to install compared to wet film. But a good side of installing this auto-adhesive film is when it's there for good. There's no danger that a hair bubble will appear in a week or 2. When it sticks to the tail lights, it sticks for good until you remove it yourself. Another important detail when you're installing this film is that you need to leave enough extra film around the tail light so you can manipulate it without touching the surface or under the film that will be on the tail light, because your fingerprint will show underneath. So you need to be extra careful when you're installing this film. I've seen some professional installing wrap on these tail lights without using a heat gun, but since it's my first tail light wrap ever, I had no choice but to use my heat gun. But I must say it is a lifesaver when you do wrap, since it gets rid of every wrinkle you might have or create when you do a curve. It's not a big curve, a tight curve, but still, if you're not used to do wrap around taillights or around curve, you will find your heat gun pretty useful. But you will need a heat source at certain point at the end of the installation, so why not using your heat gun if you have one? Even if it seems like I'm almost done, there's still a lot of work to do, since the edge of the taillights all around it is a 90 degrees corner. And since I want to also wrap the edge of the taillights and not cut the film on the surface, I need to stick the film all around the taillights, which is a little tricky. I've been asked why I haven't removed the taillights from the truck to wrap it. It is simple. You need to pull pretty hard on the film, and if the taillight is just laying around on a table, as soon as you will start pulling on it, it will move around and you will struggle a lot and you won't like the result at all. The reason why I put some masking tape on the truck before starting the job is because the film sticking pretty hard on the paint of the truck, so it's easier to manipulate the film when it sticks on the masking tape, since it doesn't stick as hard as on the truck itself. As soon as the film will be at the right place on the edge of the taillight, you will know where to cut. So after you will cut the extra film, it will be easier to finalize the edge of the taillight since you won't have the prying effect on the film, avoiding it to stick correctly on the edge of the taillight. Of course, you need a steady hand to cut the film because you need to avoid to touch the paint of the truck or the car, since obviously you don't want to scratch your car with the knife. It's another reason why you should put some masking tape on your paint around the taillights before starting the job. So if your knife pass through, at least you have like a inch or 2 inch wide around the taillights covered with tapes. So it might save you from scratching your car with a knife. Even if it's slow process, you need to get rid of all the wrinkle that you can around the taillight on the edge of the taillight because you don't want water to get in there and start peeling your film. So reason why I'm taking so long working around the taillights, but I want to make sure there's no wrinkle at all around it. I've done the second taillight with the tailgate open, thinking it will have been easier to do the edge of the taillight on this side, but it was about the same thing since the gap between the tailgate and the panel of the truck is pretty wide anyway. And after you're done, you need to pass with the heat gun all over the surface you just done so you can release the memory of the film and avoid any useless tension that might cause the film to peel by itself. And after you're done, you can do another wash to get rid of the fingerprint you just put on it when you were installing it. But I would suggest to wait a couple of days before going at a car wash so you make sure the film is perfectly tight and dry on your taillights. Now you can see the difference between the one I just tint and the OEM one that have not been done yet. I haven't recorded the second taillight because it is the same installation process that the left one. I don't know for you guys, but I simply love them. This is it for today, so please like the video and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the little bell so you will be notified as soon as I will release a new video. On this, I wish everybody a great day and see you later. Goodbye.